What is happening? Welcome to the Plus Pitch Podcast, your morning pitching podcast from PitcherList.com. My name is Nick Pollock. Today is September 5th. Happy Friday, everybody. And yes, we are going to talk about baseball. Blake it till you make it was the SP Roundup because Blake Snell, my gosh, 5 earned runs in 5 innings, 9 hits, 3 walks, and 6 strikeouts against the Pirates? What? You're not supposed to do that, Blake Snell. Now, he did have a golden goal, 18 whiffs and 33% CSW. Pretty disappointing to see only 6 strikeouts. It was 6 whiffs on his four-seamer, 6 whiffs on his curveball, and 6 on his changeup. And yes, the velocity was down, 94.5. It's not the 95, 96 that we like to see from Blake Snell, but it wasn't as low as it was in his last start. And the man got singled out. Oh my gosh, I don't know if you watched any of this, but he did go 4 innings of 1 earned run, and then the 5th really just cascaded into this 4-run frame. It wasn't anything that he deserved. So I know you're scared. I get it. It's not been peak hot Snell summer for Blake Snell. However, he gets Rocky Road next. I mean, let's be honest. Are you actually going to do anything about this at this time? No, you are not. So go start Blake Snell there. I'm sure he's going to be great. And then we can talk about the Phillies if it's not good for some reason. Okay? Everything's fine. Speaking of everything is fine, Paul Skeens, 6 innings, 0 runs, and got the win against the Dodgers. 2 hits, 1 walk, and 8 strikeouts. Yeah, he's going to win the Cy Young, especially now that Zach Wheeler is hurt, and I can't say, my gosh, I want Zach Wheeler to win the Cy Young. Fine, just give it to Paul Skeens. Okay? Ranger Suarez against the Brewers got the win, 6 innings, 0 runs, 6 hits, 2 walks, and 4 strikeouts, 6 whiffs, 33% CSW, 89 pitches, blah, blah, blah. He gets the Mets and Dodgers next, but remember, this was against the Brewers, which I will say it's easier to pitch inside of Milwaukee than it is in most places. Still, Ranger Suarez is commanding. And when you look at the track record of Ranger Suarez, he has these large peaks for a while where he's in rhythm. And he's had blips along the way. Usually would be in the second half, but at some point there is some valley, and that gets him out of that rhythm. Ranger Suarez has not been pulled out of it this year. He is still in prime form. And yeah, I'm starting him against the Mets. If there's something really concerning, maybe I'll be conservative against the Dodgers, but I doubt it at this point. Ryan Pepiot against the Guardians got the win. 5 innings, 0 earned runs, 0 hits, 2 walks, 6 Ks. I think that's 2 days in a row we've seen a starter go 5 innings and 0 hits. It was Cade Horton the other day. I guess maybe it's not 2 days in a row, but you understand. I mean, look, 90 pitches. It's not 1985, okay? You are not going to vie for history with 0 hits through 5 innings for a younger pitcher, all right? Don't be upset about that. I don't think anyone is. I'm just doing a whole straw man thing. But this was a game of facing lefties that I was a little concerned about because we don't really know if Pepiot's changeup is going to be there or not. But he threw tons of four-seamers, 60% four-seamers. Of course, they didn't allow a hit. And then you have the changeup with legit support, 7 over 18 whiffs on that slow ball. That is beautiful. That's exactly what we want to see. And this was also in Tampa Bay. And Ryan Pepiot goes back and forth in Tampa Bay, out of it, in and out. And we don't like Ryan Pepiot in Tampa Bay. So guess what? Next start is in Chicago against the Sly Sox. I'm very much in on that one. I'm a fan of this. We have Freddie Peralta against the Phillies. 5 innings, 0 runs, 2 hits, 3 walks, and 8 strikeouts, 14 whiffs, 92 pitches. Ace is gonna ace, 30% CSW. We did get a bit of Professor Chaos. A fair number of those pitches went under 60% strikes, but he was able to wriggle around it. Thank you so much, Freddie Peralta. I gotta say, I feel like I underrank Freddie Peralta every single year in the preseason. Maybe I should stop doing that. You have Taj Bradley against the White Sox. 5 innings, 4 earned runs, 8 hits, 1 walk, and 7 strikeouts. Now, he's trying to flirt with 97. What we've seen in the first half, really, this time with the Rays, it was a lot of 95, 96, sometimes being around 96. This was about 96.7. Last start was around 97, and that's cool. But the thing is, Taj Bradley still has the same exact problem he had in Tampa Bay. No, it's not about the scouting report. It didn't matter, the scouting report, because whatever the catcher puts down, he still has to execute. And back then, the catcher just did it for him. He didn't need to think about it. That's fine. Chris Sale has always said he's never shaken off his catcher, right? Like, it doesn't matter. Someone has it. What does matter for Taj Bradley is, can he locate his pitches? No. Control is not command, right? And in this one, he had some control, but then he also had some terrible control, 16% NC rate across all of his pitches. Okay, actually, I'm sorry, that was 17%. 16 on the four-seamer, that has 72% strike rate. So that is bonkers to me. I don't think I've seen half of a ball rate of a pitcher be non-competitive before. Does that make sense? Where it's either in the zone, way out of the zone, more so than like competitive around the zone and not in it. Okay, anyway, Taj Bradley is not someone that I'm chasing. This was against the White Sox. I just think it's way too volatile. Still, it's the same guy. Yes, the velo is a little bit better, but that did not help here. 9 base runners and 5 innings. Come on. We had a bullpen game for the White Sox with Jonathan Canning going, about 2.1 innings of 5 earned runs. Do not do that. Okay. Also, I do want to mention to everybody here, if you are in the playoffs right now and you need some help for the next 2 weeks, you want to get my recommendations for who's a probable start, questionable start, do not start. I have a grid of every single start for the next 2 weeks. This is more in depth than the list. This is me saying every single day you can map out your streamers per day. And it's for PL Pro members. I also give my full rankings 1 through 30 for an extra day than the streaming article you get. So get PL Pro today, 15% off with promo code podcast. And I look forward to seeing you on the greatest baseball Discord on the internet. It's probably the best Discord, honestly, because we just treat each other like humans and good, and there's no incendiary comments, there's no insulting, there's nothing like that. Everybody's just really excited to talk about baseball and their favorite things, and it's awesome. It's 1,500 people, and you also get Q&As from the staff every single day. So what are you doing? You got to join our community. It's the best. Kyle Hendricks against the Royals, 6 innings, 2 earned runs, 3 hits, 3 walks, and 0 strikeouts. How does... Koufax, I get that you're really friendly with Hendricks, but can you make it less obvious? I mean, this is ridiculous. His best pitch, the changeup, of course, 53% strikes, 45% usage, and 2 earned runs and a 1 whip. And, of course, how am I supposed to butter my bread with this? But, you're looking at Hendricks and you're like, yeah, this is a vegetable grocery. I'm not going to get bread here, let alone butter, maybe some butter. I don't know. Is a vegetable grocery a thing? It's not. It's the farmer's market, I guess. But you can say, look, you're not going to get your bread buttered by Kyle Hendricks, okay? Carlos Rodon, Noah Cameron, Logan Allen, and Christian Javier round out the starters from yesterday. Carlos Rodon against the Astros got the win, 6 innings, 1 earned run, 3 hits, 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts. He actually should have had 1 fewer hit because I cannot believe that Ryan McMahon did not get credited for catching that ball from Altuve. If you don't know, it was a soft liner to third, and he clearly caught it, and then he was transferring the ball out of his glove, and it popped out, and it's very obvious that he caught it, but they said it was a hit, which is so silly. But maybe they called it an error. I don't know. Another man got on base, made it harder for Carlos Rodon. Regardless, great start. 27% changeup usage is a lovely surprise. And he refused to allow a hit on the night with the pitch, which is great. We should be going with Carlos Rodon moving forward. Noah Cameron, though, I don't know. The Angels were his opponent last night. It was in Kauffman, which is good. But we've been seeing Noah Cameron get out of rhythm. That is, they're resting him a little bit more. We don't really know when he's going to start, all that kind of stuff. And I believe that did factor into this one. 5 innings, 300 runs, 5 hits, 5 walks, and 5 Ks, 15 whiffs. So many fives. We have a situation where a pitcher does most of the things right. 4 seamers were upstairs, also a 93, not 91.5, so the rest probably helped his velocity a little bit. And the curveball was also down. So we had the Blake Snell blueprint doing really well against right-handers, but the cutter was under 50% strikes. And that's really the big deal here, right? And you also have the changeup at about a 25% non-competitive rate. So 2 of his major pitches for a kitchen sink guy were not working, and he believed he would get them working, and that's why you have 5 walks. So I don't think that this is something that is going to stick around. In fact, I think the cutter, even though it had about a 16% non-competitive rate, was missing just inside a little bit as opposed to way out a ton. I mean, yes, he did have those that were very bad, but that's, you still have 85% of pitches or so that could be, and half of those were balls, half of them were not. So Noah Cameron, to me, is someone that you should feel good starting at Cleveland next. They are worse against lefties. That is a lineup that wants to play all of their left-handers, and yes, they will switch hit and have their right-handers too, but they're much worse at it, very susceptible to these Boyers of southpaws with changeups who don't throw harder than 94, right? That's Noah Cameron. It's Matthew Boyd and Jamie Moyer combined. And speaking of Cleveland, you have Logan Allen going into Tampa Bay. I'm not a big Logan Allen fan. I know there are moments where he actually can execute a good game plan of being that changeup low and four-seamer up and sweeper in between, kind of like the Andrew Abbott in that way. And yeah, 5 innings, 300 runs, 6 hits, 2 walks, 4 Ks in Tampa Bay. Good job, I guess, but I'm just not really interested in following his schedule with the Guardians and going at it. It is a Toby for a 15-teamer play, right? Not something I really want to go for 12-teamers. I think there are a lot more appealing streams than Allen. Unless you're in a quality start league, then I can understand it, as he does always have that long leash, 92 pitches in this one for 5 innings. And then there's Christian Javier. I had to pick a streamer yesterday, and I guess I should have just gone with, the only one I could have gone with for a win would have been Kyle Hendricks with 6 innings and 200 runs, which is just unreal. So I went with Christian Javier instead, and that was 4.1 innings of 400 runs, 6 hits, 3 walks, and 4 Ks. And yeah, this wasn't good. Now, the changeup was landing for strikes in the zone, and that's cool. Like, I like the fact that Christian Javier has that pitch, but his four-seamer was just so chaotic. So many missing way out of the zone. Could not get it above 60% strikes with that. He had sweepers that were, he didn't do really much. He threw them against righties. They were and then he didn't really throw them against lefties. Now, he did throw a sinker 3 times and a curveball 5 times. One of those curveballs returned the only home run he allowed the entire game. So really, this was a changeup getting him through 4.1 innings on 78 pitches, right? And honestly, 400 runs in that time, not so bad considering how terrible the entire arsenal was. So I don't think that Christian Javier is a guy to target at the moment. He gets at Toronto next. You know that Toronto likes hitting at home. Now, it's not out of the question that Javier can be much better before he does have an inconsistent, he's inconsistent in his quality per start. But yeah, this isn't it. You might want to go for Texas in Houston after. I might be at that game. I'm going to the Astros-Texas game on Monday the 15th. So that might be this one. I don't know. We'll see. But that might be the one you want to target. I'm not going to really do that unless I see something really impressive against the Jays. But right, that is it for today. I'm looking forward to spending time with you the next 3 weeks and sealing that championship for your teams. Remember, I'm here every single morning on playback.tv/pitcherlist answering your questions for your playoffs, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern time. Sometimes it starts at 11, then I extend it past 12 to about 1 p.m. But make sure you tune in, and good luck, everybody. But that is it for today. So my name is Nick Pollock, and may your BABIPs be low and your strikeouts high.